As everyone knows, Zhuhai has its own version of 11.11, and it's the international one. The Middle Eastern tycoons have already gathered at the VIP lounge of Zhuhai Jinwan Airport, preparing to go on a shopping spree. However, their target isn't Taobao or JD.com, but the 15th China International Aviation and Aerospace Exhibition, Zhuhai Airshow. Since its inception in 1996, the Zhuhai Airshow has already celebrated 28 years. Today, the Zhuhai Airshow is one of the top 5 airshows in the world and has become a window for showcasing China's military technology advancements. This year at the Zhuhai Airshow, there's a distinct focus on unmanned and intelligent systems, including fighter jets, air defense missiles, unmanned aerial systems, and land combat systems. This trend reflects the global direction of military equipment development, which is why so many Middle Eastern tycoons have flocked to Zhuhai. Zhuhai is so lively today. Weeks before the event, hotels around the Zhuhai Airshow Center were already fully booked. The first to fill up were the presidential suites in 5-star hotels, with the Middle Eastern magnates having secured them early. Next were the mid-range hotels, housing representatives from various companies attending the event. Lastly, the budget hotels were packed with investors. 1 week before the business trip, there was no room available, so I decided to squeeze in with our investment projects, Joe said with a chuckle. It's not about saving travel expenses, but honestly it was the only option. The airshow gets bigger every year. On November 12th, the 15th China International Aviation and Aerospace Exhibition officially opened in Zhuhai. The Air Force's August 1st aerobatic team opened the show with thrilling performances, featuring barrel rolls, cross-flights, and inverted maneuvers, showcasing their skills. This was also their first official appearance at a Chinese airshow, after upgrading to the J-10C fighter jet. This year's Zhuhai Airshow was full of exciting highlights. Not only did a host of world-class exhibits make their debut, but the Chang'e 6 lunar mission also displayed the first-ever moon soil samples from the lunar far side. What's even more impressive is that Zhuhai has gathered 3 fifth-generation fighter jets this year, the J-20, J-35A, and Su-57, all of which were on display together. To date, there are only 5 fifth-generation fighter jets worldwide, and this year's Zhuhai Airshow gathered 3 of them, possibly setting a new record for global airshows. The Zhuhai Airshow is bustling with activity, with planes roaring overhead and military giants presenting their best products, eager to attract potential clients. However, in the midst of this crowded exhibition hall, there was one booth that stood out for being unusually quiet: the Saudi Arabia booth. The 300 square meter space was almost empty, with just a few screens looping promotional videos. This approach has left many scratching their heads. Is it a case of too much money and not enough sense, or is there some deeper strategy behind it? Saudi Arabia's booth operation was in fact quite extravagant. A 300 square meter exhibition space with a reported rental cost of 20,000 renminbi per square meter, totaling 6 million renminbi for the day. For regular exhibitors, such an investment would be paired with a well-packed booth full of products to attract attention, yet Saudi Arabia chose to present almost nothing, just a few large screens. According to reports from top executives who arrived early, the staff at the booth explained that their exhibition purpose was to come empty and return full, leaving many onlookers amused and perplexed. In reality, this empty booth tactic hides a deeper strategy. Saudi Arabia has been ramping up its military industry in recent years, and this empty-handed arrival is actually part of a strategy to lay the groundwork for military procurement deals with China. The Zhuhai Airshow, as a top-tier global military exhibition, provides the ideal platform for this purpose. It's safe to say that Saudi Arabia is using the most luxurious method to tell China's military industry, "I'm here to buy." In recent years, Saudi Arabia has shown a growing interest in Chinese military equipment. They've already purchased the Hongqi series air defense missiles and the Rainbow series UAVs. The reasons for this are clear. Chinese military equipment offers performance advantages, doesn't come with political conditions, and features reliable after-sales service at a competitive price. In comparison to Europe and the US, Chinese military products are unmatched in value in the global arms trade market. U.S. military equipment is high-end, but often comes with a bundle of political conditions, and buyers may find themselves subject to the risk of supply cutoffs. European equipment tends to be neutral but lacks stable global supply chains and comes at a high cost. Chinese equipment, on the other hand, is straightforward and reasonably priced, gaining widespread trust in the global arms market. As regional security dynamics in the Middle East become increasingly complicated, Saudi Arabia, as a regional power, has an urgent need to upgrade its military capabilities. For 2024, Saudi Arabia's military budget has reached 269 billion rials, approximately $71.7 billion, marking an increase over 2023. Especially in light of challenges arising from the Israel-Palestine conflict, Saudi Arabia needs reliable equipment to strengthen its defense. Chinese military enterprises are sure to become crucial partners in this endeavor. The high-end Chinese military equipment showcased at Zhuhai is well suited to Saudi Arabia's needs. In another sign of this growing partnership, China has also helped mediate peace talks between Saudi Arabia and Iran, facilitating agreements and resolving long-standing hostilities. This has garnered immense goodwill among the wealthy Middle Eastern elites, and investments from the region into China have been rising year by year. Just recently, China issued $2.1 billion in sovereign bonds in Riyadh. With the region's instability, China's reliable arms, and a growing economic relationship, the Zhuhai Airshow has become the 11.11 shopping festival for Middle Eastern tycoons, buying non-stop. At this rate, China could soon surpass the United States to become the world's largest arms dealer, pushing the former superpower aside. And the Zhuhai Airshow is the perfect stage for this. This year's Zhuhai Airshow has seen the debut of several advanced weapon systems, including the Hongqi 19 air defense missile, the Rainbow series UAVs, the Winglong series attack drones, various artillery and missile systems, all of which have caught the attention of Saudi representatives. Saudi Arabia's interest doesn't just focus on individual product performance, but on the integrated combat capability of the systems as a whole, a quality that Chinese military products excel in. The rumors online may not be just idle chatter. Judging by the current displays in their booth, Saudi Arabia has put up signs with the slogan, "Our goal is to localize more than 50% of military spending by 2030. In other words, Saudi Arabia's objective is not merely to buy equipment, but to establish local production lines and learn advanced technology. They aim to master everything from manufacturing to technological upgrades, becoming self-sufficient in military production. The incentive measures and plans for supply chain and investment partnerships at the Saudi booth further corroborate this strategy. Saudi Arabia's military localization goals are highly dependent on China's support. Chinese military companies not only provide cutting-edge weapons and technology, but also help Saudi Arabia build its own military industry, even sharing production techniques. Compared to the rigid, politicized, and restrictive arms trade practices of the West, China's more flexible and pragmatic approach to collaboration is a major advantage. As Saudi Arabia strives to reduce dependence on imports and improve its domestic military-industrial capacity, China's role will only grow more critical. This shift marks a significant trend. Saudi Arabia is moving from simply purchasing individual items to importing production lines and investing in local manufacturing. This is part of Saudi Arabia's broader strategy to become a regional military power with greater autonomy. The large-scale, empty booth presentation at this year's Zhuhai Airshow is a bold move by Saudi Arabia to announce its intent and showcase its growing ambitions as a military powerhouse. China, as a key player in the global military industry, has become a trusted partner for Saudi Arabia and other nations. This year's airshow is expected to achieve even higher sales figures than previous years. In 2021, the 13th Zhuhai Airshow saw deals worth $12.5 billion, and in 2022, That number jumped to 39.8 billion US dollars. Given the quality of the equipment and the international climate, this year's transactions are expected to surpass that amount. Saudi Arabia's empty booth operation at this year's Zhuhai Airshow was certainly unconventional, but it was filled with meaning. In the face of shifting global dynamics and escalating defense needs in the Middle East, Saudi Arabia's strategy for military procurement has evolved. The Zhuhai Airshow, as a top-tier military platform, provided the perfect stage for showcasing its goals and forging partnerships. With its high-quality military products, flexible cooperation model, and reliable after-sales service, China will continue to attract more global buyers. It's worth noting that China's military is focused on protecting and guarding, not on aggression.